around looking for a site to have a music session, because we used to go off on Friday nights and with guitars and so on, and we'd have a session through the night. But I came to a gate, and on the gate, a gate actually just appeared from nowhere, and on the gate was up done, and then I saw it as verboten and something else in German that I didn't understand. So what I did was I turned the Jeep round, and I took a chain from the back of the Jeep and I pulled the gate down, and I just carried on. So what it actually is somebody that has the arrogance, and this applies all over the planet, somebody has the arrogance to come into your country and assume that they can buy part of it and then stop you from travelling across your country. So I think the case is that it needs to be put across to all those people, whoever they are, that they have no right whatsoever to try and claim any part of the USA, just as much as you don't, and just as much as I don't, but that you are free to travel anywhere on this planet because it belongs to you. It has been worked out that actually here in my country, and it's only a small country, it's 300 miles north to south, and it's 200 miles from east to west, and per head in this country, when it's divided up, if it was, every person then would actually have 4.5 acres belonging to them. Now, it's just a mathematical thing. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that's the case. But if people can take that into consideration, and I'm entitled to walk on yours, and you're entitled to walk on mine, so consequently they're not ours. We don't have any claim on them. The American Indians were exactly the same. They never had any claim on the land.
I've said we when we came over here, you know, we conquered the American Indians, but we adopted the European style of civilization. I think we would have been better off adapting to the Indian way of life.
Well, I certainly agree with you, because these days, say for instance, you may have heard the term before, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yes.
So consequently, the same applies everywhere else. You know, you only need to be yourself anywhere on this planet. But if you go to someone else's country, you really can't do things the way you would do them in yours, and you would expect the same back from them.
Yeah, I've got up on my Liberty Village site, and by the way, Liberty Villages is just adaptable to almost any country in the world. I've got a little quote here. An Indian chief, Two Eagles, was asked by a high-ranking government official, "You've observed the white man for 90 years. You've seen his wars, his technological advances. You've seen his progress and the damage that he's done." The chief nodded in agreement. The official continued, "Considering all these events, in your opinion, where did the white man go wrong?" He said, when white men find our land, Indians running it. No taxes, no debt, plenty buffalo, plenty beaver, clean water, women did all the work, medicine man free, Indian man spend all day hunting and fishing, all night having sex. And the chief leaned back and smiled. Only the white man is dumb enough to think he could improve on a system like that.
Yeah, that's I suppose that's classed as perfection, isn't it?
Now, on the chat room, I guess you weren't able to get into that, but
I can't see. I'll check again on my email and see if I can access my email.
Well, Max from New York is asking. He'd like to know how much the IRA is linked to the Westies. Now, you know who the Westies are? That's the Irish mob.
The Westies?
That's what, according to Max, the Westies is Irish mob, organized crime in Ireland?
Well, to be honest with you now, I have never heard of the Westies.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And I actually don't understand if he could elaborate on it as regards his knowledge of their link.
Okay.
With the IRA.
All right,
And
Max.
maybe
He's listening to the show. He says the Irish mob is in New York City and New York. The Irish, it's an Irish organized crime mafiosa type of organization in New York. That's what they're called over here, he says. And he just wondered if they were linked to the IRA in any way.
Well, look, what I would say is that if they are, right, I'm not surprised, because during the times of the Troubles here, what you did have was you had a movement in the United States that would look for financial aid from the Irish in America, and that may have come out of there then.
Okay. Well, when you get to thinking about it, if you go back in our American history here, a lot of our heroes, they make movies about them, are people like Jesse James. And Jesse James fought on the south side, and after the North won in the Civil War over here, they basically became outlaws. You know, and the people they were robbing, the people they were stealing from, were the banks. What's that? What's that? What is that? That on your end?
Yeah, I seem to be getting. Hang on a moment. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, that's okay. Just
okay. You were pulling up the show, and there's a delay on it. But
yeah, okay. That's fine now.
The Jesse James, he was robbing trains. Well, the Harrimans owned the trains. The Morgans and the Rockefellers owned the banks. So these criminals are outlaws back in the Old West, and up into the 30s, the Bonnie and Clydes, the Dillingers out there, they were attacking the what I refer to as the banksters. They were, and all of the that's those people also control the press, so they're not going to portray their enemies. They're going to portray their enemies as the bad guys. They're trying to do that with people like me just for talking. They're trying to say, he's a danger. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's talking against the banks. Anytime that you move against the controlling money, anytime you talk about the Federal Reserve, you're basically becoming a criminal in their eyes. If you want your freedom, if you want your liberty, like you do in Ireland, then you are the terrorist. And if the Palestinians want to kick the Jews out of their country that they've lived in for 2,000 years, and suddenly they've been made homeless in their country, how is it that the press always defines the Jews as just defending themselves and the Palestinians as the terrorists, as they're going out and blowing themselves up? That's because you've blown up their homes, you've bulldozed their homes, you've killed their sons and daughters, and you think they shouldn't fight back?
Well, that's it. It's the same here. That's what we had to do. I didn't literally do it myself, and I didn't disagree with it because I agreed with it. The thing is that propaganda and naivety.